Alright, so this is the second video, graphing square root functions. I'll have, about four, maybe five, or, I might do more, I don't know, uh, videos of graphing these, and I've decided to do one problem per video. And I'm just going to give you I'm going to let you see which ones will be what I'll be doing. This right here I did as example one. That's the first video. And then, of course, this one's this video, example two. This will be example three, and this will be example four. So you can go to whatever video you need to, whichever one you want to watch. I would recommend watching all of them because it pretty much covers everything you'll come across. All right, so let's go back to this example here. So what we want to do is we want to pick some XY values. I'm going to graph them using a table. Okay. All right. So what we'll do is we'll make up our XY table. Okay. And then a few things that you want to remember. Okay. Uh, you cannot take the square root of a negative number. Okay. So in other words, if we chose x to be 0, that would be the square root of negative 4, because 0 minus 4 is negative 4, and we can't do that. Okay, that would give us an imaginary number. So the easiest way to do this is pick certain x values. Okay, do you have to pick these certain x values? No. Okay, you can choose any x value you want as long as that x value does not give you a negative under the square root. You can choose any x you want. But if you choose certain x values, then it'll make it easier for you to work the problem. All right, so let's look at this one. So the first number that I want to pick, okay, is I want to choose 4. So why is that? Because if I plug 4 in for x, 4 minus 4 is 0. Okay? That's just how I always do it. Okay? The first x value you want to choose the x value that makes underneath the square root 0. Okay? That makes underneath the square root 0. And in this case, it's a 4. So you can actually take the x minus 4, set it equal to 0, and you can solve. And so we need to choose x to be 4. Okay? And then the next x value we're going to choose is 5, and then we'll choose 8. All right, so now let's talk about why I chose these. Okay, well, I chose the 5 because 5 minus 4 is 1, square root of 1 is 1. I chose the 8 because 8 minus 4 is 4, the square root of 4 is 2. Okay, now just think if I would have chosen, let's just say I would have chosen, I don't know, 6. Okay, if I chose 6, well, 6 minus 4 is what? 2. Well, what's the square root of 2? It's a decimal. Okay, so that's why I chose 4, 5, and 8 to avoid getting decimals. Okay, all right, so now what we need to do is we need to plug each one of these x values in and get our y value. So f of 4 is the square root of 4 minus 4, which is the square root of 0, which equals 0. Okay, all right, f of 5, that's the square root of 5 minus 4, which equals the square root of 1, which is 1. And then f of 8 is the square root of 8 minus 4, which equals the square root of 4, which equals 2. Okay. All right, so now look at this. You've got 3 points. Now, I don't know, your teacher may make you choose more than 3 points. If that's the case, then do it. I mean, let's see. We chose 8. That gave us a 4 underneath. Well, 4 is a perfect square. What's the next perfect square? 9. Okay. So we would actually have to choose 13, wouldn't we? Because 13 minus 4 is 9. The square root of 9 would give us 3. Okay? And then if they wanted you to, if you had to choose 5, then you would need to choose one more. Well, that was what? The square root of 9 when I did 13 minus 4. What's the next perfect square? 16. So you would have to plug in for x whatever would give you 16, which would be what? 20. 20 minus 4 is 16. Okay? So that's how you want to go about choosing your points. All right, so let me erase this. All right, so let's go ahead and plot our points. So plot the point 4, 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. And then 5, 1. So there's 5, 1. And then 8, 2. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, 2. Okay. And so then we draw our graph, and it's going to look something like that. Okay, so there's our graph, and the one thing you have to keep in mind is make sure you don't draw this graph coming down like that. Okay, you can't do that because look, let's suppose this is what, 1 2, this is an x value of 3, right? So that would be the point 3 what? Well, plug 3 in. 3 minus 4 is -1. What's the square root of -1? It's an imaginary number. So that's why you can't choose numbers that make underneath the square root negative. Okay, so the graph, it starts here, but it continues this way forever, and you can see it's increasing. All right, so I hope this video helped. Give me a like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.